Good evening, I'm Joe Liberatore.
And I'm Christine Brazil.
Coming up next on Vision 20 News, Marywood College prepares for its 10th inauguration of new dean, Marywood's favorite, Mary Reap. And there's more news. Possible delays could keep Steamtown running out of steam.
Cindy Ceccacci has a health and fitness feature, Tim Booth has the weekend weather forecast, and Bob Ide has news in the baseball playoffs.
Vision 20 News is up next.
Live from Marywood College, it's Vision 20 News.
Marywood College will inaugurate its 10th president tomorrow afternoon at 2:30, Sister Mary Reap. The youngest woman ever appointed to this position will take oath of office in the memorial conference on the campus of Marywood College. Sister Mary Reap's impressive background includes a Bachelor of Arts degree in Spanish from Marywood College and a doctorate of philosophy from the Pennsylvania State University, and travel to such countries as Spain, France, Peru, and China. Sister Mary Reap has also served as president of the Pennsylvania Association for Bilingual Education and was one of 10 teachers selected to teach English as a second language in China. Having served at Marywood College as a student teacher and academic dean, Sister Mary Reap has been committed to Marywood College for close to half of her lifetime. We here at Vision 20 would like to take this time to salute Sister Mary Reap and wish her best of luck in the years to come.
Ernest Priate Jr. will be endorsed by the Fraternal Order of Police despite his attacks on the competency of the Scranton Police Bureau. Public Safety Director James Clee says a major factor in the FOP's decision to endorse him is related more to the future of its members than to his actions as district attorney. Priate has stated that he will defend Act 3, the state law that gives police labor organizations the right to arbitration when they fail to reach contract settlements through negotiations. Clee admitted there has been a lot of controversy between Priate and the city police, but he said the district attorney has done a great job.
An alleged robber identified as Chad W. Spade was returned to the Monroe County Prison, where he is currently being held. Bail was set at $50,000. Spade is also being charged with theft by unlawful possession, possession of a prohibited weapon, and reckless endangering of another person in Lackawanna County. John Tom Keel, an attendant of Orlowski's service station, testified before Magistrate Ted Giglio in the Central Court on Wednesday, saying that Spade used a sawed-off shotgun to rob him of approximately $60.
Congressman Joseph McDade came under fire recently for his voting record. Robert Cordero, who launched the attack, will be running against McDade in the upcoming election. Cordero stated that McDade hasn't voted in 4 elections and voted by absentee ballot in 18 elections between 1967 and 1983. Congress is in session 140 days a year, allowing 225 days for the representative to come home and vote. McDade doesn't live here, said Cordero. If you don't really know the people and the problems, you can't really care. Cordero pointed to McDade's home in Clark's Green, which is empty of furniture or even curtains. In the past, McDade has responded by saying that his work is in Washington. The Republican McDade has been elected to 13 terms. Cordero, meanwhile, is a lawyer and owns a local radio station.
There was a unanimous passage of a ban on skateboarding yesterday in the borough of Clark Summit. The ban includes prohibiting skateboarding on school grounds, public property, and parking lots after business hours. 4 local insurance agencies were approached by the borough to seeking a policy of building perhaps a skateboard ramp. However, all agencies have refused. A Clark Summit resident tried to find out what could be done for the skateboarders. The council president told parents the only solution would be to arrange liability insurance through a national skateboarding association or to lease property and have parents supervise it themselves.
Neighbors of the Mayflower Manufacturing Company voiced their objections Wednesday night to an expansion of that plant. An operator of the plant said that the expansion to a commercial zone would allow the business to expand, increase employment, and make the property one of the prettiest in West Scranton. But people who have lived there for 5 generations said the company is slowly changing the area and that if the plant owners
to Steamtown USA Foundation won't be turned over to the federal agency in Scranton on Friday as scheduled. The Hilton at Lackawanna Station officials say they are not yet in a financial position to pay the nearly $1 million necessary to pay for Steamtown's previous financial debts. County Commissioner Joseph Corcoran today said the city remains committed to the project in spite of the obstacles. Debbie Weatherly, a spokesman for the Congressman McDade, expects that the city's both land-owned property and equipment will be transferred at 1 p.m. at the Hilton, despite the current difficulties.
There's a serious problem in downtown Scranton with the theft of parking meters. Each double-headed meter is worth $250. Approximately 60 have been stolen in the past year. The loss to the city is about $15,000. Rick Gescheidel, director of the Scranton Parking Authority, is asking Public Safety Director James Klee and Acting Police Chief Frank Karam for additional undercover patrols on the blocks that have experienced excessive meter theft.
Well, stay tuned. We've got national news coming up and a Health Watch Beat report by Cindy Ceccacci. Stay tuned here for more news on Vision 20.
My mother, she drinks a lot, and it got me addicted.
Drinking and taking me so far down, I had to get out of my house.
It made me do things that I never thought I'd do.
If I take one drink, I'm gonna take another and another because I can't control myself, and I'll die.
Hey, yo, alcohol is a drug, and you can get hooked on it. And the younger you start, the more damage you can do. Word.
I'm cool in my way, not by drinking.
And now I can see going to college.
Say no and say yes to your life.
Boy, I'm glad we're doing this thing together.
Yeah, it's because we share the same feelings about space technology.
That's right. And it's led to benefits for all of us, too.
Like this little gizmo. It's a medical system that's implanted.
That means it releases medication automatically. Are you listening?
And they believe it'll be the way to treat diseases like diabetes in the years ahead.
And it came from space research.
One of the down-to-earth benefits for everyone.
Willie, me, and you.
Space technology.
This is what's in it for you.
Welcome back. Turning now to our national news. There's a new threat from kidnappers in Lebanon. The Revolutionary Justice Organization is warning that the safety of its 2 American hostages will be in jeopardy unless international interference in Lebanon's political crisis ends. The group issued that message in Beirut, along with a picture of Joseph Scipio. The other American the group claims to hold is Edward Tracy. Freed hostage Milswaithar Singh reportedly was told U.S. officials that 3 Americans that he held in Lebanon are not in a life-threatening situation. A source familiar with Singh's debriefing says he's given the U.S. State Department a lot of raw information. And the source says that the Indian-born professor is very willing to talk, although he sometimes gets tired. Singh was released Monday, 20 months after being kidnapped and held hostage in Beirut.
Campaign officials are still trying to put their own spin on last night's vice presidential debate. The Dukakis-Benson campaign claims Republican Dan Quayle deviated from his rehearsed responses, but George Bush says his running mate proved himself to be knowledgeable and did an outstanding job. In the debate, Quayle compared his own age and experience to that of the late President John Kennedy, drawing a sharp rebuke from Lloyd Benson. The Democrat told Quayle, "You're no Jack Kennedy." But President Reagan is defending Quayle's statement. He says when Kennedy won the presidency, he had less experience in government than Quayle does. And Reagan calls Benson's comment a cheap shot.
Without as much as a single nay, senators have approved a measure to make the U.S. savings bond tax exempt for most people if they have bought to finance college or vocational education. The bill's author, Massachusetts Democrat Edward Kennedy, calls it a simple, sensible way to help families save for the college expenses. The amendment was attached to a bill designed to correct errors in the 1986 tax overhaul, which is still awaiting action. The House has overwhelmingly approved legislation to fight midnight dumping of medical waste. The bill now heading to the Senate would require that the Environmental Protection Agency set up a system to track the dangerous waste from hospitals, labs, and clinics. Violators could face heavy fines and up to 2 years or more in prison.
An environmental group charges that the EPA is failing at a job it already has, policing the safety of local water systems. The National Wildlife Federation charges that the agency has failed to act against tens of thousands of violations of the Safe Drinking Water Act. The U.S. Forest Service says people have been asking where to send donations to help revive Yellowstone National Park, so it's obliging with a special fund. The money will be used to clean up 1.6 million acres that were scorched and will help buy seeds and seedlings to replenish Yellowstone's forests.
A conservation group says federal and state governments are letting enforcement of the Federal Safe Drinking Water Act go down the drain. The National Wildlife Federation claims that the agencies took legally required enforcement steps in less than 3% of more than 100,000 violations during the fiscal year of '87. An official of the Federal Environmental Protection Agency questions how the Federation arrived at its figures. And he says it's not necessary to take enforcement action every time to fix the problem when there has been a violation. Analysts say the nation's largest retailers had better sales in September, but not that much better. Industry watchers say apparel sales rose, but just a bit, not as much as the experts had figured. Retailers had hoped for much higher sales also. Sales increases happened in many chain stores have been lagging right behind inflation.
A state grand jury in New York has found no evidence to support black teenager Tawana Brawley's claims that she was abducted and raped by 6 white men. The panel indicates that she was responsible for the condition in which she was found in Dutchess County with her body smeared with racial slurs. It suggests that she did it to avoid punishment for staying out late. Brawley's advisors are bitterly attacking the grand jury's report. A drug company says it sold Ben Johnson's doctor the anabolic steroid that cost the Olympic sprinter his gold medal. The doctor has told some media organizations that he never gave the drug to any of his patients, but he recently told the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation that he did give it to some. Johnson says he never knowingly took illegal drugs.
Taking a look now at our state stories, police say that several hundred residents were evacuated for several hours in an area of Falls Township and Bucks County this morning because of a spill of hydrochloric acid at a factory. Officials say the leak was caused by a faulty valve in a tank truck making a delivery at the Arrowhead Industrial Water Company in Fallsington Industrial Park. Fire officials say upwards of 1,000 gallons of acid leak, and police say the driver of the truck was treated for chemical burns. The evacuees were allowed to return home several hours later. And in Philadelphia, authorities say a woman and a child died and 2 others were injured this morning in a fire in Philadelphia's Strawberry Mansion section. Officials say the blaze broke out about 8:45 p.m. in a 3-story row house in the 2700 block of 27th Street. The fire was over in about 10 or 15 minutes. The injured were taken to the Medical College of Pennsylvania, where they reported to be in fair condition. And the names of the dead woman and the child are still not yet available. Fire marshal is currently investigating the blaze.
The Grand Federal Edifice, the float that was the centerpiece of last year's Constitution Day parade in Philadelphia, was dismantled today. And its creators are angry that the city didn't find it a permanent home. The float was a $100,000 recreation of the one that first rolled through Philadelphia's streets on the 4th of July in 1788. The new one had stood in a city parking lot for much of the past year. Members of the Carpenters Company and the Architectural Woodwork Institute had built the float with the intention that it could be displayed as a lasting memorial of the bicentennial of the U.S. Constitution. Ashland Oil pleaded innocent today to charges it was criminally negligent in the January 2nd collapse of an oil storage tank south of Pittsburgh. The collapse resulted in a 700,000-gallon diesel fuel spill in the Monongahela River. During a brief arraignment today, Ashland attorney Thomas Fiesel also asked for a jury trial. Company spokesman Dan Lacey said the charges are unfair since the tank collapse was an accident.
Cindy Ceccacci has an upbeat health and fitness report, and Tim Booth has the latest in autumn weather. Stay tuned for more Vision 20 next.
Well, first of all, you didn't have record pressed down there.
Where?
You have to press record down here, and it won't move.
Record a great deal of the problem.
And then you have to press the button in top.
Yeah.
About the button?
Still popular.
That's right.
How-
I'm here to tell you about it. Well, as much as I hate to say it, it's time for you couch potatoes to start moving. Researchers at the U.S. Centers for Disease Control say that the nation's most common cardiac threat comes not from cholesterol, hypertension, smoking, or stress, but rather from physical inactivity. While things like a high cholesterol level, inflated blood pressure, or even mild smoking do affect your cardiac state of health, inactive people are found to have twice the incidence of coronary disease and heart attack. The best way to combat this physical activity is to become involved in an ongoing aerobic activity. Moderate exercise, such as a low-impact aerobic class, improves the working of the lungs and heart and is relatively pain-free. Here's an example of such a class. The class should begin with a 5 to 10 minute warm-up, being sure to stretch every muscle in the entire body to avoid muscle strain and pull. The intensity of the warm-up should then be increased to get the blood flowing to all parts of the body. After the muscles have been stretched, it's now time to pick up the speed. By moving the arms, the heart rate is elevated and the breathing is increased. A good aerobic workout will always consist of a low-impact beginning aerobic routine. Here, the waist is being worked on. Notice how the movement is focused on one area of the body, the waist. The arms are used as a pulling device to stretch the body fully all the way to one side. As long as the movement is fluid and consistent, the exercise will serve to improve your waistline. This is the final stage of the workout, a higher intensity aerobic routine. This is where the heart is raised to its optimum level of performance. The way to determine this is to subtract your age from 220 and multiply by 0.9. To end the class, the pulse is taken for 60 seconds. Well, as you can see by the smiles on these women's faces, that workout was relatively pain-free and served to improve their state of health. Yet another advantage of this type of exercise is that it does burn a lot of calories. The right calories, that is. You have to be careful of those so-called empty calories, the kind that take a lot of work to get rid of. For example, a bag of potato chips will take 25 minutes of aerobics to burn off. A Snickers bar will take 45, while a bagel and cream cheese will take 1 hour and 45 minutes. If you think that's a lot, Kentucky Fried Chicken with coleslaw and biscuits will take 2 hours and 33 minutes. But the empty calorie food topping the list, a Burger King Whopper with cheese, fries, and a chocolate milkshake will take a whopping 3 hours and 38 minutes to disappear. So before you binge, think about what you're going to eat and get ready to head for that next aerobic class.
Well, thanks a lot, Cindy. I don't know if I have enough energy and enthusiasm to keep up with the ladies doing aerobics there. The little guy was doing pretty good, but that's not exactly my speed. Well, I guess we're going to go to the weather now with Tim Booth, and correctly pronounced, it's the autumn weather forecast.
Taking a look at the weekend weather, for the dailies for today, right now the temperature stands at 45 degrees. Humidity is low at 41%. The barometer is at 30.18 and steady. The sunrise tomorrow will be at 7:05 a.m. and the sunset tomorrow will be at 6 o'clock, 6:30 at 6:38. Taking a look around the country today, as we can see, most of the country experienced low temperatures today. Autumn is finally here. Chicago had a 54 degrees. Buffalo, New York had 53 degrees. Our own area got up only to 54 degrees. New York City had a 51. Meanwhile, out west, Phoenix, Arizona, they're our feature city for today. They had 101 degrees. The reason for this is because the jet stream has finally fallen. It's fallen below the Canadian border. It's down into our country now, bringing us more of the cold autumn weather that we're going to be seeing. Now, probably clear through until next spring. The hot weather is finally gone. Taking a look into the weekend, for tomorrow, for Sister Mary Reap's inauguration, the temperature is only going to reach 48 degrees. It's going to be a partly cloudy day. Saturday, it's only going to get up to 52 degrees, and Sunday, 50 degrees, but it's going to be sunny over the weekend. Cold, sunny weather. Monday, it's going to be more of the same. It's going to be fair with only 50 degrees. But keep in mind that the record low for today was 26 degrees, set back in 1958. That's all for the weather that we have. Now back to you, Joe, and more news.
Well, it seems that baseball playoffs are in the news again, and they're heating up. Bob Ide is next with a look at sports. Stay tuned for Vision 20. I don't know if you follow the playoffs very good, but it seems that things are heating up. Bob?
Definitely heating up. We're definitely into October, as they say, the October. Fall is October, right? That's what I said. Fall is definitely October.
Well, you know your months
definitely,
anyway.
definitely playoff time, and guess what today is?
7th of October.
No, first day of the NHL.
Ooh.
Can you believe it already?
Yeah.
Well, to baseball first. It didn't take long for the Los Angeles Dodgers to make David Cohn eat his words. See, when they got to the ballpark before last night's playoff game, they found a newspaper column written by Cohn that was critical of Dodgers pitchers Oral Hershiser and Jay Howell, the pitchers for the Dodgers when they lost the game. In just 2 innings, the Dodgers scored 5 runs, knocked Cone out of the game, and as the Dodgers went on to a 6-3 victory that evened the best-of-7 series at a game apiece. The winning pitcher last night, Tim Belcher, says Cone's words had given the Dodgers some extra incentive. And now he says Cone may think twice before sitting down at a typewriter once again. When the National League playoffs resume tomorrow night at Shea Stadium in New York, it will be left-hander John Tudor for the Dodgers and Ron Darling going for the Mets. The Boston Red Sox set out to even things up in the AL playoffs tonight in just about 5 minutes, sending Roger Clemens against Oakland's Storm Davis. The Athletics captured Game 1 yesterday 2-1 with the help of a Jose Canseco home run, and Davis says the pressure tonight will be on Boston and that the Athletics play well when they're able to relax. Look for the A's and the Mets to travel to the World Series and for Oakland to take it all. The Big 11 is in full swing again this weekend for Week 6 of this schedule. 2 teams returning to league play are Scranton Tech and Valley View. The Red Raiders veered off the schedule last weekend, losing to Shenandoah Valley, while the Cougars tied Pittston area. The 2 teams, both at 2-2, will hook up Friday night at John Hens's Memorial Stadium in Peckville. Valley View coach Frank Bazzalia says the Cougars are going to have to play well to beat the Red Raiders. Let's take a look now at the rest of the Big 11 schedule for Friday night. The Comets of Abington Heights take on the Eagles from Scranton Central. That kickoff time set for 7:30. Saturday afternoon, these games start at 1:30. Riverside takes on Prep down in Taylor. West Scranton is at North Pocono, and in a non-league matchup, Lakeland takes on Carbondale. One big game in the Wyoming Valley Conference could mean the season for one and sour grapes for the other, as Berwick and Tunkhannock battle in Berwick Friday night. Both teams going in are undefeated, but coming out with a win may be the toughest test of all. Taggers coach Tom Ojijuski says there's no doubt this is a big game. And there is no doubt this is certainly a big game for sure. Like 2 bulls locking horns. It'll be the best game of the year, no doubt. It's a new year for Wayne Gretzky, but he doesn't think it'll be easy to attract hockey fans in Southern California. But he knows that's part of his job as he makes his NHL debut tonight with the Los Angeles Kings. But he says as long as the players work hard and start winning, people will show up. The Gretzky-less Abington Oilers don't begin their defense of their Stanley Cup until tomorrow night when they open at home against the New York Islanders. Let's take a look at the rest of the NHL schedule for a big night of National Hockey League for all you big fans. Some games of interest on the schedule tonight. The Flyers host the Devils at home, and the Rangers skate against the Chicago Red Wings. Finally tonight, the Philadelphia 76ers say guard Andrew Toney did not report to NBA team's training camp in Lancaster today, sparking rumors that the chronically injured veteran will retire. Sixers spokesman Dave Koski says Toney's agent told general manager John Nash today that Toney was experiencing pain in his foot and would not report to the first day of the team's training camp at Franklin and Marshall College. That's it in sports. Back to Joel.
And recapping tonight's top story, Marywood College will inaugurate its 10th president tomorrow afternoon at 2:30. Sister Mary Reep, the youngest woman ever appointed to this position. She'll take the oath of office tomorrow afternoon in the Memorial Campus on the campus at Marywood College. Sister Mary Reep's impressive backgrounds includes Bachelor of Arts degree in Spanish from Marywood College and a Doctorate of Philosophy from the Pennsylvania State University, and she's traveled to such interesting countries as Spain, France, Peru, and even to China. Sister Mary Reep has also served as the president of Pennsylvania's Association for Bilingual Education, and she was elected to one of the 10 few top teachers selected to teach us English as a second language in China. Having served at Marywood College as a student teacher and as an academic dean, Sister Mary Reep has been committed to the Marywood College for more than half of her lifetime. We here at Vision 20 would like to take this time to say to Sister Mary Reep, we wish you the best of luck in the years to come. Don't you, Christine?
I'm sure she'll be a very competent president.
I'll be there tomorrow. I'm going to probably have my whole family come up. They're coming from Binghamton, or?
No, my family's not coming, but I'll be representing my family.
I'll be working tomorrow here at the campus, and you're all invited to come out and visit us and take part in the inauguration festivities. So this wraps up the first edition for the fall semester of Thursday nights for Vision 20. For Christine Brazil, Cindy Ceccacci, Bob Ide on sports, and Tim Booth on weather, I'm Joe Liberatore. For the entire Vision 20 news team, Thanks for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow on the campus of Marywood College for Sister Mary Reap's inauguration.